honour the First Peoples of Australia, their unbroken ties to Aboriginal law, culture and customs. We respect the traditional owners of the lands and waters we inhabit and acknowledge their elders past and present. We celebrate the enrichment of Aboriginal communities around Australia. We recognise the lasting impact of colonisation and dispossession. We salute those who have fought for the rights of First Peoples. Their legacy is our guiding light today and always.
I can't take it anymore!
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good morning, Blurtstars, wherever you are around the world. You are listening to the new Blurt.
You absolutely are listening to the new Blurt. Good evening, afternoon, or morning, or wherever you are tonight. I am coming to you from Wurundjeri country, the Kulin nation of the Wurundjeri people. Wurundjeri people. I apologise. Southern Tube is never ceded, always has been, and always will be Aboriginal land. You have the Kegsta, aka Keely, from the new Blurt. And tonight we are blurting around the world first, as we do on this show, if you've ever listened to us before. And tonight we're going to talk about Australia's commute time, apparently to work compared to other nations, is longer. Apparently, or maybe it's not. Anyway, we'll discuss that. Barcelona is fed up with the tourists, and I have been to Barcelona. And there are many, many tourists, but it's a cool place to go. So I could understand why people want to go there. So that'll be interesting. Fox Friday wins a design award. There's a fantastic Fox Friday in Richmond. We will talk a little bit about that. Cyclone Beryl wreaks havoc in the USA and surrounds. Cyclone, hurricane, a little bit of same thing, really. Tomato. But anyway, it does a lot of damage. And it's also NAIDOC week this week. Wencee's going to talk about past NAIDOC award winners and ones that are present. And I'm going to talk about David Unapion. And if you don't know who he is, you will after Indelible Indigenous. And just about wrap up the show, Blurt On Politics, we sort of can't get away from it in the fact that we just had a new Prime Minister in the UK who isn't of nutcase origin. So that is a particularly good difference in the UK at the moment, although we do have another nutcase who's trying to get in again, or actually who was voted in. So that's not so good, but we will discuss. And Wencee is going to talk about that. And and I'm going to talk about the French elections that have just happened. Well, I don't think they've happened quite yet. But the way it works in France, anyway, we'll talk about it, the way it works in France, and we will talk about how the left kicked out the right. And anyway, after that, we'll have Joke of the Week, because we all need a bit of a laugh. And as it says, I'm off to Brisbane as of tomorrow, so Brizzy or bust for me. It's not a suggestion or a choice. It's Brizzy or bust. And with that, I think we need to welcome our co-host, which is the co-hostess of the mostest, Wencee.
Hey, hello. Hello. Frank Walker here.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And before I do get started, I do want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. The original storytellers of this land are the Jagera and Turrbal people of the Meanjin Nation, and pay my respect to the elders past, present, and emerging.
Beautifully done, as always. Good evening to you, my fine feathered friend. How are you going?
Waiting in anticipation for your arrival. Are you here yet? As my little title says here. There.
No. But right. I will be there. I will be there midday tomorrow. I will be in Brisbane, Vegas. So it should be good. We'll work out when we get around and get together and have a brewski, and obviously we'll do a show up there, and we'll one of your local breweries or pubs or something. So it should be a bit of fun.
Exactly. So that will time perfectly with a beer education for next week.
Yes, exactly correct. Yes, beautiful. It will indeed. That will be absolutely perfect. Actually, and that's a fantastic segue, actually, talking about beer. Hobart craft brewer Fox Friday has made it to the mainland with new tap room just a short walk away from Richmond's busy Bridge Road precinct. And the interesting thing about this is I have been to this Fox Friday in Richmond, and it is a cracker. The food's okay. It's all right. I mean, lots of other people probably like it. They go, the burger's fantastic, whatever. I've sort of gone off burgers a little bit as I've got older. I don't eat beef as much. So if they don't have something plant-based or fish or something, I'm sort of not as interested. But the beer they have on tap is very good. Very good. Very good choices. And they haven't necessarily won. I think they may have won awards for their beer, Fox Friday. But it looks like they've won an award for the design of their warehouse or their pub. They totally refurbed. I'll show you a picture.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what it looked like. So that's the front bar there. You can see with the angular roof, the triangle roof. That's where you get served from. And then you can see it's sort of quite rustic, but as you can see, really, really high ceilings and
it's like a warehouse, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But the aesthetic of it's really cool too. What you're not seeing there, unfortunately, is that on the right of that first picture. If you're not seeing this, I have this in the show notes anyway. So if you want to have a look, you can. The right of the first picture is a really nice Kunara.
Kunara. Is that one of the
a wood heater? Sorry, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a really nice one, just in the corner. So when we were there last time, it was really cold outside, and I kid you not, I nearly took my t-shirt off inside there. They had it so. They had it so hot.
Cranked up the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, monoxide, dioxide.
Carbon
monoxide. Of burning of the of coal.
It wasn't coal; it was wood, but
Yeah.
But so that just gives you a couple of different angles of the design of the place, and you can see the beautiful brickwork on the back there as well. You can see it's just lovely. I can understand why it won a design award. You see how they've got the heaters in those bars across, and it's just not to the eye. It's not inhibiting to the eye, so it's not like it's an eyesore or anything. It's just I just think it's really nicely done. But the interesting thing was, as soon as I walked in, I just went, this is really cool. I love the sort of the look of the place, and so it's quite interesting. See, that's a nice little nookie you can go into. That one there. Yeah, where you can have a nice little beer in the corner or a little cognac or something.
Does it have any communal share tables, or is it all just private?
I see where you're going. Well, all of these are communal share tables.
Oh yeah, I can see that one in the middle. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, they're good when you do share a table with others, and more often than not, you end up chatting with some people.
Absolutely. And I remember years ago when Mick the Ambo and I were in Munich, and we went to the Munich Brew House, and that's exactly what they've got everywhere. Just those trestle tables, absolutely everywhere. And you're 100% right. I mean, we met so many people there. It was fantastic, and it was just drinking with the Germans was awesome. Trying to keep up with the Germans was stupid, but drinking with the Germans was awesome. I mean, they always bang on about how good Australians are as drinkers, and I'm just like, I've lived in Europe for the best part of 10 years. Seriously, I know that's crap.
Exactly. I caught up with some workmates 2 weekends ago, and one of them's a German guy, who's probably about 10 years my junior, and he turned up about 5 or 10 minutes after I did. I drank maybe not even a third of my drink, but by the time I got halfway, and he'd already sculled his first beer. Was it a pint? I think we're all on schooners, because we knew it was going to be a long evening, so I didn't get into the pints. And then by the time I got my second, he'd already finished his second beer. By the time I got my third, he was on to his fourth. So, and then he went home because it was a big day for him. So,
It would have been a big day for me too. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
but
4 drinks is way too quick for me.
Oh, those Germans can definitely put it away. But my English mate used to be the same. He used to put it away quickly too. Like he would drink really fast. He'd get drunk really fast too because he drinks so fast. Anyway, we shouldn't be promoting that on the show. It should be drink responsibly. But if you are going to get a little bit drunk, make sure you got someone to help you home.
Yes, exactly.
Don't
drive. And don't drive.
God, no. Don't even think about it. I mean, if you were going to go out and have a few, just leave the car at home, get the public transport, get an Uber, do whatever. But make it easy on yourself and get yourself home nice and safely. So
exactly.
The design challenge, the main challenge of the project was through strategic interventions such as opening up the existing precast elements and connecting different sections of the building. This is broken up into zones by Studio Y, some large, some intimate, etc., which we just saw before. The little intimate with the little lounge and the little super comfortable leather sort of chairs there. So anyway, I just thought I would segue that when you were talking about big. It's won a few awards for its design, and I think it fully deserves them.
Yeah, it definitely does. Seeing as we're in Melbourne, the next Blurt Around the World topic is to do with commute time to get to work. And there's been a report come out just yesterday, regarding how we compare in Australia to others around the world, and Melbourne and Sydney not being the best at that average. 2 decades ago here in Australia, it used to be 3.7 hours is what we would spend commuting to work in a week. Now that's gone up to 4.5 hours per week. Doesn't sound like much, but it does. Obviously, it has increased. Urban sprawl in cities like Melbourne and Sydney has contributed to those longer commute times. As we know, those 2 cities in particular have been spreading quite a bit, and obviously with minimal lanes or roads that go into work, means that people are catching cars because that's the preferred mode of transport here in Australia to get to work, as opposed to European and some North American countries or cities. The preferred transport is active transport, which is cycling, walking, or public transport. So especially in Europe,
I know that'll be Europe for sure, but you said definitely North America, didn't you?
Some of the bigger cities, they have some decent public transport options. Not California, because especially Los Angeles, that's a big.
LA is rubbish, absolutely
just full
terrible.
of cars and stuff. But there are other cities like even New York. You got your subway. Everyone gets around, and so that's why some parts of North America, Canada, I'm guessing, will also have similar cities. But yeah, definitely European countries.
Canada's public transport not that good.
Not so good. Okay, I would have thought that'd be very similar.
No. I mean, look, Toronto might have improved, but
I was just going to say, because that's one of the comparisons between Melbourne and Toronto. Toronto being the better city compared, because it's hard to compare Melbourne with other cities in Europe because they're not same size, like in some Nordic countries where their public transport infrastructure and walking and cycling tracks are just phenomenal. So that's why they're comparing it with Toronto, and they've said, Toronto's got better public transport options and things like that.
It wouldn't surprise me if Melbourne was bigger than Toronto, actually. It might possibly not be, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Yeah.
Not geographically, I don't think,
but
because Canada's bigger than Australia, I think, geographically, and obviously Victoria's very small anyway. But we have a lot of people. So but that's interesting. So, because I mean, I've only ever basically taken public transport since I started working in the city 30 years ago. I've never driven to work since I was 22.
Yeah, I've done a mix of both. Depends on what my job was and where it was. When I was in Melbourne, I did a lot of driving because I was contracting, and some of the places I had to go to was from one side of the city to the other side of the city, and catching public transport was just near impossible. So it was easier just to drive.
That makes it really, really hard. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, there's a big push on trying to get people to get to work within 30 minutes, which 60% of European cities do achieve that, whereas in Australia it's not even 50%. So yeah, but I'll put the link in the show notes, of course, so everyone can read and compare the different cities and stats. So yeah, I thought that was something to bring to mind.
Definitely. No. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. We try to do everything we possibly can not to use the car, basically. And it makes a difference too, because your insurance goes down.
Yeah, true. Very true.
If you don't have to use your car, because like when I rang the insurance the other day, they were like 15. I think they said 10 to 15,000 Ks, and that's what we're insured for, or maybe we were insured for 15 to 20,000. I can't remember, but I said to them, I said, oh, there's no way we're doing that. I said, there's absolutely no chance in hell.
Yeah.
So, why pay for it? So everyone out there, just a little tip from Uncle Kegsta, get out there and check your insurances and get a better deal for yourself.
Yeah,
actually,
absolutely.
Talking about insurances, this is a city and a state that I hope has insurance, because this is what has just happened in Bay City, Texas. I'm going to see if I can get this up. If anyone can see that, you will see an amazing amount of water everywhere and a lot of damage.
Wow. Strong winds there.
Yeah. So a lot of places in Texas, and this hurricane that's just gone through, Hurricane Beryl, it was a lot earlier than they were expecting, and that's obviously caused.
Well, I think the rating system might be kind of messed up.
How so?
It seemed like this was a lot worse than some of the other ones that they said were worse. But could have been how close we were to it.
That tree limb right there could have been through the roof of our house instead of our shed. That one could have gone on our house instead of this way. So we'd just be grateful.
As long as she's not thanking God for that, that's okay with me.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that destruction. It's very similar to what we have up here in Queensland with the cyclones that we get. So it's very similar.
Yeah.
Any mention of
it's not
injuries
great,
or deaths?
Yeah, so just a little bit here. So it knocked out power to nearly 3 million homes, which I would have thought was slightly different to what it does in Queensland.
We don't have that many homes, obviously not as populated as Texas.
What I thought. Yeah, I think Texas has got about 40 million people. I think that's right. I think there's something like that. Oh, a little bit less or something. Well, California has got, I think, 55 million. And I know Texas is one of the next biggest. So maybe when I'm just going through this, you can do a quick find out what the pop is.
I'll tell you, it's about 30 million. 31
there
almost.
You go. There you go. So
Texas is bigger than Australia population-wise.
Yeah, population-wise, it is. Yeah. Wow. And they still have quite a lot of land too. So interesting, isn't it? But the Texas state and local official warned it could take several days to restore power after Beryl came ashore as a Category 1 hurricane and top 10 transmission lines. Just seeing if, but the winds and rains are fast-moving, powerful enough to knock down hundreds of trees. A woman was killed in the Benton area when a tree fell on her home. So I don't know if there's, not great, but that, I mean, obviously not great. She died anyway, shape or form.
No.
But with this amount of damage, and if there's only one person, you thank your lucky stars, but obviously not for that one person. But what we got? We got just having a look here quickly. At least 2 people were killed when trees fell on their homes, and the National Hurricane Center said damaging winds, flash flooding would continue. A 3rd person, a civilian employee of the Houston Police Department, was killed when he was trapped in flood. So I'd say there is a few people here and there that are still going to come through, I'd say. There were no immediate reports of widespread structural damage, however.
Oh, that's good.
So,
That's good. And did you say what category it was, or what strength? Like,
yeah, no, it's a category 1 apparently.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Probably explains
you
why
really
people do too much damage. I'm assuming 5's the highest.
Yeah, exactly right. So it says here that Beryl later weakened into a tropical storm and then a tropical depression, far less powerful than the Category 5 behemoth that tore a deadly path of destruction through parts of Mexico and the Caribbean last weekend. So I believe that this is the end of that hurricane.
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure that is correct.
Mm.
So, yeah, so not good.
No,
Not
definitely
good. Not good. But if you've got
Speaking
some
of not
good
good,
stuff, oh no, you haven't got more bad stuff. Okay, right enough.
on to cheering news, not.
Yes, right.
Barcelona's
Oh yes,
people. Barcelona's.
yes.
What
Yes.
I don't- people from Barcelona. Are not,
Wallonians.
they are not happy with tourists.
Oh.
Yeah, so why are they not happy? Well, the main problem is the cost of living and of actual living, finding accommodation. For many years, they have been outpaced by tourists with the increase of Airbnb style accommodation.
Ah, right.
Yeah, and so so rents have gone up as a result. It's harder to find rental property in Barcelona. In the last decade alone, rents have gone up 68%, and just for renting. And
Wow.
buying a house has gone up 38%, but that's probably same as what we have here in Australia.
I
with
wouldn't want to
price.
guess how much it's gone up in however long. It's just ridiculous. But
Yeah. So the housing affordability has become quite challenging over there. Also,
why are they sick of tourists so much though? What's
because Airbnb is driven by tourists. So as tourists come in, they're seeking Airbnb style accommodation rather than your traditional hotels, because you get more for less money, apparently. Also negative effects on local commerce. So a lot of local businesses are moving out because rents are getting too high. So you're getting all the big commercialized multinational companies going in 7-Elevens or whatever goes into a city like Barcelona. So you've probably lost all those little niche little stores that you and I probably would have seen when I was there 20 odd years ago. Things like that. The mayor of Barcelona has announced some bold moves to combat those issues. Things like banning tourist apartment rentals and things like that. So how they're going to achieve that, I'm not too sure. They want to scrap the licenses, for example, of 10,000 or more apartments, which is classed as short-term rentals. So that way the power goes back to the hotels and motels in the city. So that might help them, I guess. But it's going to take a while for anything to stabilize in cities like that.
It's I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, I know when we were there, it wasn't 20 years ago for us, but we were there, I think, 10 years ago. And it was actually quite a little bit of unrest back then because of like the Catalan side of things. As you know, Barcelona is Catalonia, I believe, and they've always had like a separateness from Spain, as it were.
Government and the language.
Yeah. So that was interesting when I was there. When I was there 10 years ago, but I'm not sure exactly how that is now. But I do know they're a bit more right wing now, I believe.
Yeah, possibly. But the locals are all demonstrating in front of hotels, putting signs, carrying signs saying Barcelona's not for sale, tourists go home.
Wow.
They're even doing things like when they're sitting at outside in dining dining outdoors.
Yeah.
They're shooting water pistols at the tourists to shoo them away.
Oh
So
my.
they're doing
Giddy
extreme
up.
things like that. So
That's
it's
phenomenal.
pretty full on.
I'd love to know what the value of the revenue is that tourists are bringing in.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be quite considerable, but at what
Because
expense like this?
Yeah, well, absolutely. But you'd think the mayor of Barcelona wouldn't be too happy about it.
No,
I mean, if they're losing out on that revenue. But that's an interesting story. That is an interesting story.
Yeah.
But we have so much on the show tonight, so we need a bit of this. Probably not that. Maybe this. I would think it's probably more like this.
When you give blood, you're more than just a blood donor. You're the lifeblood of Australia. Search Give Blood and book your donation with Australian Red Cross Lifeblood today. Give life. Give blood.
The Australia Institute produces high-quality research that has real-world impact, whether it's revealing the $10.3 billion in fossil fuel subsidies provided by federal and state governments last year, or our long-standing research advocating for a federal anti-corruption commission with real teeth. We change minds. To donate, head on over to australiainstitute.org.au.
As the sting says, Blurt On Politics. Let's get ready to rumble.
Absolutely, let's get ready to rumble. There's quite a lot going on in politics at the moment, all around the world, and
a lot of rumbling.
Oh yes, very much so. And Europe, we're keeping out of America completely at the moment, but Europe's got so much going on. It's just absolutely incredible. So Wencee will discuss the UK election a little bit after this, but I just wanted to bring to Blurtstars' attention that there was a chance, it looked like, the far-right party called the National Rally that used to be called the National Front, and they've called it the National Rally, obviously to soften the image, but it's very much about anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-immigrant, anti-being a human being, any of that sort of stuff. And it was pretty much used to be led by Marine Le Pen, but it's nowadays is led by a polished dude called Jordan Bardella. And he has meant to have softened the image of the National Front. That's been his idea. But he blamed the alliances for their loss. So what's happened in France is that there's been an overwhelming vote not to elect the National Front as the running party of France. And they had some snap polls just recently, and it very much looked like the National Front was going to maybe running the country, which was going to be pretty damn scary.
That's because France has 2 rounds of elections. So they had one first round a couple of weeks ago where the National Rally was leading, and then the second round, which was just the weekend gone, the left overtook the right.
They did indeed, and the reason that happened was because Mélenchon's claim, Mélenchon is Jean-Luc Mélenchon. I'm sure I just completely bastardized that.
Sounds like
But,
a French version of John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. Little bit, check and that. Yeah, John Luke. Well, just going to call him John Luke Mellencamp now. France's unbowed LFI emerged as the largest group within the New Popular Front. So it's called the New Popular Front, and it's a left-wing party. And what happened was they had an alliance with the Greens, the Communists, and the Socialists.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty left. You don't get much more left than that. So they went all out to make sure that the National Front, I refuse to call it the National Rally. So they went all out to basically oust the National Front's chance of fronting France as the popular party. Yeah, for want of a better word. So basically, what I would say, though, the interesting thing about that is it's a hung parliament. So following the unexpected election results, the left-wing New Popular Front's victory over the National Front, leading to Prime Minister Gabriel Attal's resignation. I think Macron asked him not to resign. The past president or past... Is he president or prime minister?
Prime Minister. Macron is president.
Is he?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so...
Yeah.
It's weird when they have a prime minister and a president, but anyway. It's like they can't work out what they are. But anyway, Prime Minister Gabriel Attal's resignation and potential new leadership under Jean-Luc Mellencamp. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the country's political direction, especially with the Paris Olympics approaching. Yeah, I would think that would be massive because it'd be really interesting.
It was weird timing to stage an unexpected or out of the blue election weeks before the Paris Olympics was to start. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, absolutely. And just imagine if they went anti-gay, anti-immigrant, and anti-trans, and pretty much anti-anything of being a human being. And then all of a sudden they've got Paris's Olympics. Yeah. And then, they're meant to be the People's Olympics, joining everyone together and celebrate diversity. And okay. So
would have been a bad look.
It would have been terrible. So in Europe at the moment, and that's why that was so important, in Europe at the moment, Viktor Orban, who is an absolute shocker and obviously a friend of Orangeheads, he has nationalistic rhetoric, strict immigration controls, and criticism for undermining democratic institutions and press freedoms, which is really interesting because he's the one that undermines the press freedoms. He's an absolute shocker. If someone said something about him, he would put him in jail. He's an absolute shocker. Anyway, he's the leader of Hungary, and Orangehead knows his name, but he doesn't know what country he comes from. Which is, for him is, that's not bad for him. At least he knows his name. Yeah. But, and Poland, there's Jaroslaw Kaczynski, the Law and Justice Party. Which is, I love this, the Law and Justice Party. The acronym or the nickname is PISS.
in their language?
Yes, PIS. PISS.
Oh, that's right. I think we did. We did
do
that's
this.
Right.
Yes, we did.
We took the piss out of them.
We did take the piss. We definitely did. So conservative social policies, immigration opposition, increased state of control over the judiciary, they are pissed, no doubt about it. Italy is another one. Brothers of Italy. It just sounds mafioso instantaneously.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Oh, Fratelli d'Italia. Leader is Giorgia Melanoma. Melanoma might as well be. Policies.
A cancer society. Yeah.
Yeah, beautifully done. Beautifully done. And I'm sorry, but I'm not ready. But that needs to. That has to happen. I'm sorry. That's very good. Very good. Very good. You'll be here a week. Try the veal.
Yep.
Now, so Georgia Melanauskas, no. Georgia Mellencamp, no. That's it. Melanoma, that's right. I got it right. Third Nationalism, anti-immigration stance. I love this. Traditional family values and EU criticism. I love it. I love it. I love the fact that the traditional family is hate gays, hate trans, hate anyone that's not white and Christian. But that's a traditional family value. I love it.
And I'm sure that also means women in the kitchen and bearing babies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And yeah. So anyway. And then we know about France, so that's fine. So I just thought I would just bring a few of those to the attention of what you're looking at in Europe at the moment. And with the UK just gone centrist left with Keir Starmer, which is a really good start to the UK. And now France has got this far left party. As something said, I saw something in the Twitter or something the other day. It was a chalk outline thing. It was like UK, France, America next. And my caption was, don't fuck this up. But I feel badly that they will. I think they will.
What's this in America? Sorry, I'll let you finish that sip.
That's fine. I'll edit it anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, I've still got that bet with a colleague of mine, which I felt okay with before I heard the debate. And then after the debate, I was like,
yeah, I'm a bit worried about your bet now. But,
yeah, I'm a little bit worried about my bet too. But the thing is, my bet was that his bet is that Orange Head will win. So if Orange Head loses, but Biden's not there,
doesn't matter who wins.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does the bet?
If that was the bet that Orange Head was going to win, then if he doesn't win, it doesn't matter to who he loses to.
I would still win.
You would still win.
Well, not really. Not if I said Biden's going to win and he says Orange Head is going to win. That means the bet's null and void. Yeah. Yeah. So
you're now hoping that Biden pulls out of the race and changes, because either way, it looks like Trump might win just for the fact that
there's a lot of dumb people in America.
Yeah, and they're going to go, we can't vote for Biden and we can't vote for whoever comes in next, so we'll just vote for him.
Yeah.
Trump. We had it before. It wasn't that bad.
No, it was. It was
it's
horrific.
Yeah, we know
Absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, don't wish that on anyone. Anyway, I'm done. So there you go.
You're done. I wasn't going to talk too much about the UK elections because you've just briefly talked about it, but like you said, Sir Keir Starmer did win the election in a landslide as predicted prior to the actual election. Labour Party gained 211 seats to get a total of 412.
So was that projected more or less than what they thought they were going to get?
I think it was a little bit more. It's roughly what they expected. And the Conservatives I almost said the Liberals. The Tories lost 251. So they lost a lot of seats.
I think we've got a few Labor supporters here.
And the Conservatives lost to a variety of parties, not just to Labor. The Liberal Democrats, they gained 64 seats with a total of 72.
Hold on. Did you say they gained 64 seats?
Yeah, so they went from 8 seats to 64.
No, you just said 72. They went from 8 to 72.
Yeah, 8 to 72.
That is crazy.
Right. It is. A lot of those
crazy.
A lot of those right-wing guys or voters or the Conservatives, a lot of them went to
the Liberal
Democrats. Yeah, the Dems. The Scottish National Party, which was led by Nicola Sturgeon up until last year when there was a bit of controversy or a lot of controversy, and there's change of hands there. They lost 39 seats and ended up with only 9.
Whoa.
Labour took a lot of those Scottish National Party seats up in Scotland.
Wow.
Sinn Féin gained 7 seats from 0. Oh no, sorry, they were level, so they didn't win or lose any, so they retained 7.
Okay, so it looks like the people that voted for them last time voted for them this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's all those seats are in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
What else can I say? It was a decent turnout. I think it was around about 60% voter turnout, which
Kidding.
wasn't too bad.
That high? That's high for UK.
I think that's what I read. I thought I had it here,
Wow.
but I don't have it in front of me now. The other big, I wouldn't say big winner, but they didn't win as much as they projected. The Reform UK Party, which is led by Nigel Farage, they were expecting 13 seats, but they won 5 seats.
He's like
in
the
total.
UK version of Please Explain.
Yeah, pretty much. He was. I think we mentioned it last week or the week before. He was the head of the Brexit campaign back in the day. And yeah, Reform UK is a corporation, not a political party. So we'll see what happens with them. The Greens Party gained 3 seats. They now have 4 seats, so pretty tiny compared to the 600 odd seats in Parliament, 650 seats. So yeah, nothing significant there. What else can I say about them? Yeah, so it was interesting to answer anyone's questions or thoughts as to why they vote till 10 p.m. because they don't do pre-voting. They give that bigger window to vote on the day, and they do it on the weekday.
Can you not do postal?
No, that's from what I read. I thought I read somewhere that they don't do postals, but I could be wrong.
I didn't appreciate that, but
yeah,
that's probably true, but I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, and so because it's first past the post, they count all the votes immediately after, and the counting went all the way through 4 or 5 in the morning. So a lot of these politicians were up all day, all night, waiting for the results of their seats. So you can imagine how tired they were. And I was watching the BBC coverage Friday morning our time, which was early morning their time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the politicians, when they were accepting their wins, are going, I want to thank my family who are sleeping at the moment, and I'm really proud that I won. Blah 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 blah. And next one would say, "Yep, my family who are sleeping right now." Blah blah.
So funny. Like, I want to thank my.
Yep, pretty much. So it was pretty funny. So
yeah, no, I mean that's pretty tough. That is pretty tough.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, those 2 elections were 2 of the many that we've gone through. I'm not going to go through all the other elections that have happened in the year. We've spoken about a few, but Taiwan's had them, El Salvador, Pakistan, Finland, Indonesia, Russia. Most of these have stayed the course with the same party.
Oh, sorry, just a curious question. Who won in Russia?
It was a tight race, that one. 90% of the votes went to a little-known politician called Vladimir.
Put it on.
Putin? Put it on, yeah, something like that. Yeah, right. So never heard of him, but yeah, congrats. He won 90% of the votes.
Yeah, well,
South Korea.
Up yours.
Yeah, exactly. South Korea, India, Mexico, where we got the first female. They got the first female president.
Yes, we did a bit on that. That was excellent.
Yeah, exactly. Iran recently went to elections just 4 days ago.
Yeah, we don't have a result on that yet, I don't think, do we?
Yes, we do. Of the 30 million votes, which was counted on Friday.
Wow.
Kazakhstan won 53%. That's the party. And It was led by.
Was that a secular, or is that the Brothers of Islam?
I'm not too sure. It's what's his name? Masoud Pezeshkian is the new president there, who had run previously but was either rejected or bowed out in previous elections. It seems like you've got to be nominated by someone else. I can't remember how that works, but he got the approval to run for the election, and he won with 54%.
Well, we might put a pin in that, and you can have it as homework, and we'll get going.
Yep,
a little
exactly.
bit to do, so
and obviously the big election later on in the year before you go on is United States, November 5. So
yes,
so,
yes, we'll be talking a lot about that soon, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, this is Hannah Melville Ray from the Australia Institute. I'm listening to the new Blurt with Wencee and the Kegsta, and you should be too. It's on Tuesday nights, live from around 8 p.m.
Yeah, treaty. It's all about treaty. I always talk about it.
Okay. All right. Indelible Indigenous. This week, we briefly talked about it last week. It is NAIDOC week, started on Sunday, just past, and will go on till this Sunday. Lots of events happening, and I think I may have forgotten to put the events page on our last episode, so may not be worth putting it on for this week, because by the time I put it on, the week's over. But anyway, every year the NAIDOC organization award or have an award ceremony where they nominate Indigenous people for various awards and achievements. And this year, let me share the screen. I was going to put that up before, but I forgot. Let's get that ready. And it is, where is that? Don't you just hate it when you had it already? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. So here are the winners of each category. There's Caring for Country and Culture Award that went to Alec Tipoti. Creative Talent Award went to Nahara. Education Award went to the Walpiri Education and Training Trust. Female Elder of the Year went to Auntie Millie Ingram, and the Male Elder of the Year went to Mr. Kim Collard, who's an elder of the Noongar Nation. The Youth of the Year went to Dante Rodriguez. The Sports Person of the Year went to Alex Winwood. He's a boxer. But the three people I just want to briefly just talk about is Tui Nolan, who won the Innovation Award for this year. The Lifetime Achievement Award went to Auntie Dulcie Flower. And the Person of the Year, the big one, was Auntie Muriel Bamblett. So Tui Nolan is a young man who is into tech and also has various degrees. So he's got various degrees in mathematics and other disciplines.
Yeah.
He's a Gudjul man, and he got it for his dedication to, excuse me, for contributions to technology and community development. He's looked at things like researching COVID for using his mathematics skills to understand that virus better, and looking at longitudinal studies of people who've been affected by COVID. And he's also helped people with diabetes by checking their blood without using any painful or those little finger pricks. So he's using science and mathematics to make the world better, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, very bright lad.
I'll put other links to all of his achievements in the show notes.
Yeah, definitely be worth reading for sure.
So yeah, definitely good bloke there, as all these award winners are. Great people. The next one, the Lifetime Achievement Award, went to Auntie Dulcie Flower. She's a mirror woman from the Torres Strait Islands, and she's for decades has been an activist in Indigenous rights and social justice. She worked. She's a nurse by trade. She's also been pivotal in training Indigenous health workers to help their local people in the islands and elsewhere. She also worked on the 1967 referendum, participating in campaigns for that referendum. So she's definitely been instrumental in a lot of community work across the nation, especially up north of Australia. So good on her. She's done great. And the Person of the Year went to Auntie Muriel Bamblett. She's a Yorta Yorta Jaja Wurrung woman, so that's near Melbourne. Yorta Yorta, I think, is from Shepparton from memory, because I think Senator, what's his name, Brizzy from Hilltop Hoods, he's from Shepparton, and I'm pretty sure he's a Yorta Yorta man.
Brizzy's not from the Hilltop Woods, by the way.
Oh, has he? AB Original, sorry.
Well, neither of them are.
Oh, really?
But no, but they do collaborate with the Hilltop
Right,
Woods at times,
okay.
but no, neither
Okay.
of them are. But the interesting thing is her surname is Bamblett, and I have absolutely no doubt, especially how sort of Indigenous families, cultures, relationships sort of work, that Les Bamblett, I believe, was an AFL player. And it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere along the line there is a relationship there.
What team?
I don't know. I honestly would have to look. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so Muriel Bamblett has also been involved in community work. She is the CEO of the Victorian Aboriginal Childcare Agency, has been in that role for 25 years or more. So she's been helping Aboriginal children in out-of-home care with that organisation. She's also been instrumental in legislative reforms to improve the child protection system, in particular Aboriginal children. So she's been very active in that sphere. So she's done great work with the Victorian Aboriginal Childcare Agency, has grown that to nearly 10,000 people working for that organisation. That organisation delivers over 80 programs across Victoria. So she's constantly putting in a lot of effort to the local Indigenous children especially, which is why she's won the Person of the Year award.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it sounds like she's a bit of a gun, no doubt about
it. Yeah. So again, I'll put the links in the show notes. You can click on any of these winners, these tiles, and then gives you a bit of a summary of what
beauty. Excellent.
Done. So yeah, that'll be in the show notes. Have a look at it.
Excellent.
Yeah, and just be amazed by the dedication and hard work that they've put in.
I absolutely will be, as I am sure you will be when I have finished talking about David Unapion.
Ooh, curious. Who is he?
Right. So, have you got that $50 that I told you to have?
I do.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
So, if you hold that up to the screen with the Indigenous person on it, that is him.
That is him.
That is David Unapion. And I will guarantee that there's probably at least 60, 70%, maybe more, of people that have ever used a $50 note would have absolutely no idea why we have David Unapion on the $50 note.
I have no idea. I have not even seen a $50 note in I don't know how long.
Don't go there. Do not go there. Me neither. So it's just nice that you have one hanging about. But
I had to raid one of my kids' piggy bank for that, by the way.
God, they're getting far too much pocket money. But anyway, he's often referred to as Australia's Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's a really serious dude. He was born in September the 28th, 1872, on the Point Maclean mission in South Australia, and he was a member of the Gurindjeri Nugara. Yeah, you don't pronounce the end. Gurindjeri people. And he was known for his intellectual curiosity, inventive mind from a really young age. And I have some fantastic examples of that. So his contributions to science and invention and why he is on your $50 note, he developed several innovative ideas, including the modified shearing handpiece. He lodged 19 patents throughout his life, showcasing his inventive spirit. Now, I have 5 of the patents and 5 of the things that he invented. He's done more than this, but anyway. Shearing handpiece, he created and improved a mechanical shearing handpiece that converted the curvy linear motion into a straight line movement, which is the basis of the modern mechanical shears. So you can thank David Unapion for that. You can also thank him for the centrifugal motor. He designed a centrifugal motor showcasing his interest in mechanical motion and engineering. And as I say, these are just 5 of his patents. The multi-radial wheel, another of his inventions, demonstrates his innovative approach to mechanical devices. And the mechanical propulsion device as well. Okay. And the helicopter design, Unapion conceptualized a helicopter based on the principle of the boomerang years before helicopters became a reality. So, as I say, he was just, and as I say, this is only in the science and mechanics side. I haven't even started on anything else yet. And obviously, he's featured on the Australian $50 note, which we just discussed. Literary achievements. He was the first Aboriginal Australian to publish writing in English. And he published Native Legends in 1929, which is a significant work preserving Aboriginal stories.
Nice.
Legendary Tales of the Australian Aborigines, attributed to him in 2006, was initially published under another name. And his writings often blended Aboriginal and Christian spiritualities and aimed to educate white Australia on Aboriginal issues. Nice. He was also an advocate for the Indigenous, and he called for Gurindjeri autonomy over the Rookan and lobbied for Aboriginal state. He urged the Commonwealth to take responsibility for Aboriginal affairs from the states, and he faced quite a lot of racial discrimination, as you could probably imagine. He was born in 1929, but he remained dedicated to his faith and advocacy for the Aboriginal rights. And he's honoured through the David Unapion Literary Award and featured on the Australian $50 note. So that is who David Unapion is.
Well, that's interesting, because I would have thought that on the 50 that there'll be some sort of representation of some of those inventions, but
yes, there is. If you look carefully, there should be the shearing handpiece or something that looks like it near it.
With my eyesight, for goodness sake, how am I going to see that?
I don't know, but if you flip the 50 around and make
I can
it
see a
big,
book, so I can see a book there. So I'm guessing that.
Yeah.
So
what do we got?
That's the book. So I'm assuming that's the literary.
Yeah, I'd say so. And right. So it's got the church at the bottom. So you can see the spiritual side of things.
But that could be referring also to this lady as well.
True.
Not too sure what that all means, but I don't even know who she is, to be honest.
No, we should know. We probably should know. But I never use a $50 note, so
Yeah.
But no, I can't remember where it came up, but I was listening or reading, and I heard a bit about David Unapion, and I just went, "Oh my giddy aunt, we need to know more about this man. He's unbelievable. He's on a $50 note. Probably most people have no idea who he is." And that is why he's on the note, because he's just done so much stuff. Yeah, done so much stuff. It's phenomenal. And I'll have some links in the show notes as well. I just love the fact that he's often referred to as Australia's Leonardo da Vinci. It just gives you an idea of the extent of his innovative personality and just general intelligence. Mind. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sure there is a cheers in here somewhere. You know how these notes have a lot of little hidden or hard to see images. You might have to look at it at a specific angle with certain light shining on it. Who knows? We'll have to.
And also you might even need to do a little bit of research and see what you're trying to find.
Sometimes you've got to magnify it quite a lot. They've got a lot of hidden words in there.
If you don't know what you're looking for, it's going to be needle in a haystack stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, now it's time for a bit of fun.
Awesome. Hang on. Got to get your sound back on the stage. Let's start that again. That was my bad.
My brother-in-law was addicted to the hokey pokey. It was a rough couple of years, but he turned himself around.
Joke of the week.
My jokes this week are courtesy of 30 nerds for people. 30 nerd jokes for people who embrace their inner smarty pants. And it is from liveabout.com or liveabout.com. It depends how you want to do it. Anyway, they're nerd jokes. And just to give you an idea, give you a flavor, why can't you trust atoms? They make up everything.
Yeah. That's a goodie. I like that one.
There you go. So, heaps more where that comes from, but it's your turn.
Okay. I am going to start off with what could possibly be the oldest joke.
I thought you were going to say the worst joke of all time.
Well, depends on who. Yeah, it depends on your point of view.
Okay. If it's old, I gather it's politically incorrect.
Potentially. There's a story in the ABC that one of their shows has uncovered possibly the world's oldest dad joke. And it was presented by Augustus. Where did I see it? Emperor Augustus in 27 BCE to 4 BCE. That's when he was the emperor.
Cleopatra?
And yeah, something like that around that time. You wouldn't necessarily imagine it, but he did have a witty side. Although the witticisms don't make you split your sides, this professor said. One is, for example, a joke that his relationship with his daughter Julia was quite a girl, and he goes past her room in the palace one day, and he sees that the maids are plucking out her grey hairs because she's beginning to go grey. And when he comes back a couple of hours later, he says, "Julia, would you rather be bald or grey?" And she says, "Well, grey, Daddy, grey." And Augustus says, "Well, why are you having your maids making you bald then?"
And that's a joke.
That was his joke, his witticism. So that's possibly one of the oldest jokes that shouldn't have been aired at all, I know, but I had to say it.
That's pretty terrible. That is pretty terrible. So I just need to lift the room for a bit there.
Yes, please.
a Roman walks into it's funny, isn't it? I know, how's that?
Still on the Roman theme.
I know. What a segue. A Roman walks into a bar and asks for a Martinus.
A Martinus. What is a Martinus?
Don't you mean a martini? Asked the bartender. And the Roman replies, if I wanted a double, I would ask for one. So he's
right.
making yeah.
Okay. All right. Where's that? Yeah, thank you. All right. Hopefully I can lift this one a little bit.
Yeah.
And you'll get what I mean. Getting my kite stuck in the tree isn't the worst thing that happened to me today, but it's definitely up there.
That's good. I like it. That's very good. Have you heard the one about the sick chemist?
No, I haven't.
If you can't heal him, you can't cure him. You probably have to bury him.
I need to know that one because my son Luke would love that joke. He likes chemistry and the periodic table. All right, another one for me. I had a dream the ocean was filled with orange soda. It was a fantasy.
I'm reading a book on anti-gravity. I can't put it down. That's a good one. I like that one. That's
yeah. 99.99% of people are idiots. I'm just happy I belong to the 1%.
I knew that was coming. I like that. I have a new theory on inertia.
Mm-hmm. What's the
but
theory?
It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. That's a good joke. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Joke.
That's a good one.
That is a good joke.
Okay. My wife and I started arguing as to who gets to use the microwave first. Then things started to heat up.
Nah, that's terrible. That's just yeah, okay. This is very much a tech joke, but it's not much. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it.
No, you got to say it now. No, you got to say it.
All right.
You can't leave me hanging.
Okay. What do you get when you cross a cow with an octopus?
Cow and an octopus. No clue.
A meeting with the ethics committee and a swift removal of your research funding.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Not a bad one, but yeah, got to think about it. Most bald people still own a comb. They just can't part with it.
This will be my last one. A wife sends her software engineer husband to the store. Let me just get this set up here. Right. A wife sends her software engineer husband to the store. Could you please go shopping for me and buy 1 carton of milk, and if they have eggs, get 6. Later, the husband comes back with 6 cartons of milk. And the wife asks him why he bought 6 cartons of milk. And he replied,
Come on, tell me the punchline.
They had eggs. Do you understand that? So he's understood. She says, "Can you go shopping for me and buy 1 carton of milk? And if they have eggs, get 6." So they've got eggs. So he got 6 cartons of milk.
Okay.
I love it. I think it's brilliant.
That's a good one.
It's
all right, I've got one last one.
Go for it.
Went to the doctors and said, "Have you got anything for wind?" He gave me a kite.
That's sensational. I love it. That is so good.
So got a lot of windy jokes today.
We did, and no fart jokes at all, which is always good. Especially for the cats that are sitting in here. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate it. But anyway, that's your lot, people, tonight with Blurt on Politics, Indelible Indigenous, Blurt Around the World, obviously, and finishing off with Joke of the Week. And I hope you enjoyed those ones. And if you want to join in any time with us on Tuesday at 8 p.m.ish live. And if we are doing Joke of the Week, you're most welcome to contribute with your joke, and we will definitely, more than likely, probably read it out. But yeah, so good night, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you listened to the pod, I hope you enjoyed it. And all the links are in the show notes. As I should have said at the start of the show, again, I will get better at doing that. I've only done this 172 times. But, anyway, it's good night for me, and I will see you soon, Wencee.
And I'll be your local tour guide. See you next week. Well, tomorrow for you. Bye.